I found some materials you can work with, so let's get started. Hello, what's your first name? My name is Bill. And what's your surname? Fraser. How do you spell that? Frasier. And where are you from, Bill? I'm from Chicago. I'm American. Thank you very much. His name is Bill Fraser. He is from Chicago. He is 30 years old. His phone number is 312-555-0749. Her name is Sabine Gans. She's from Zurich. She is 22. Her phone number is 343-900-4754. They are both not married. My name's Rick Wilson and I'm from London. I'm 19 years old and I'm a student. I go to Kingston University. I have a brother and a sister. My brother's name is Edward. He's 16 and he's at school. My sister's name is Rosie. She's 23 and she's married. I live with my parents and my brother in a house in West London. My father, Peter, is a salesman and my mother, Helen, is a teacher. I'm not married, but I have a girlfriend. Her name's Lily. She's lovely. My family really like her. Welcome to my blog. It's in English. Hello, I'm an Italian student. I'm in Notting Hill, London, England. I'm here to learn English. My English family are the Wilsons. Peter, the husband, and Helen, the wife, have three children. Edward, 16, Rick, 19, and Rosie, 23. Rosie is married. They're very friendly, but they speak very fast. It's difficult to understand them. Today is my first English class at St. Martin's College. It's a big school in the center in Covent Garden. It's near a lot of shops, cafes, and theaters. It's great. My class is very international. The students are from Mexico, Japan, Egypt, Spain, Hungary, and Switzerland. Our teacher's name is Charlotte. She's very young and she's very nice. I really like her. She's a good teacher. Hello again. It's great here. I love London. It's big but interesting. I like shopping, but it's very expensive. I go to the parks. They're really beautiful. And I go to museums and galleries. The National Gallery is free. I go by bus or by underground. It's very easy. The weather is okay, cold but sunny. The food is okay too. And the coffee is great. There are a lot of Italian coffee bars in London. Check out my photos. Andrew Johnson. Andrew, 30, is an engineer. He comes from New Zealand, but now he lives in Scotland. He works on an oil rig 440 kilometers from the coast of Aberdeen. He works 12 hours a day for 2 weeks, and then he has 2 weeks holiday. He earns £200 a day. In his free time, he goes to the gym and plays snooker. He isn't married. Darcy Buzzell. Ballet dancer and model. She lives in London, England. She is from Sydney, Australia. She mainly works in London and Sydney. She speaks English and a little French. She's married to an Australian broker, Adam Forbes, two daughters, Phoebe and Zoe. She writes stories about ballet for children. David Guetta, DJ superstar. He is a DJ. He lives in France, in Paris. He travels all over the world, Ibiza, Miami. He speaks French and English. He's married to Kathy from Senegal. He has a son and a daughter. He writes songs and likes playing music for his friends. Babur Ali. He's 16-year-old and a head teacher. Babur Ali comes from West Bengal in India. He is 16 years old and lives in the small village of Bhapta. His village doesn't have a school, but Babur is lucky because he goes to a private school in the next village. His school costs 1,000 rupees, £12 a year. This is too expensive for many children in Babur's village, but they want to learn, so Babur teaches them everything that he learns. More and more children want to learn, so Babur's friends help him teach. The classes are in bamboo huts, but sometimes they sit outdoors. The school is free and now has a name, the Anand Shiksha Niketan School, and Babur is the head teacher. Babur's days are very busy. He has no free time. He gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning and helps his mother with the housework. At 8 o'clock, he goes by bus to his school 3 miles away. He studies hard all day until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Then he travels back to his village and at 5 o'clock he begins the classes. He teaches English, Bengali history, and maths until 8 o'clock in the evening. He says, I love teaching, I'm never tired. Now the school has 650 students and 10 teachers. Babur wants to study at university, but he doesn't want to stop teaching. Different activities: playing golf, going to the cinema, listening to music, swimming, watching TV, going to the gym, windsurfing, playing computer games, cooking, playing tennis, playing cards, skiing, dancing, sailing, running, reading, cycling. Jamie Cullum. Songwriter and jazz pianist Jamie Cullum lives in London with his wife Sophie Dahl, the model and cookery writer. He enjoys going to markets, French films, and playing cards at weekends. Jamie says, in my work I travel a lot and I stay in different hotels, so my perfect weekend is at home with my family and friends. I live in a flat in northwest London next to my brother, Ben, and at weekends I like being with him and my wife Sophie. On Friday nights we often go to a club. We all love dancing. On Saturdays we get up late and I make breakfast. That's important to me. Then I sit at my piano, it's in my kitchen, and I play for a couple of hours. I don't write songs, I just play. My cat Luna listens. Sometimes in the afternoon we go shopping in Portobello Market. I love old things. I have black leather cowboy boots from there. Also, I look for old postcards. I like reading about people from the past. In the evening, we often watch a French or Japanese film. I enjoy foreign films. After that, I like playing cards, poker, with friends, sometimes until early Sunday morning. We sleep late on Sundays, but then I like cooking Sunday dinner, usually roast chicken. I really enjoy cooking. In the evening, I call my parents and my nan. They like hearing about my week. Shilpa Shetty. Indian film actress and model Shilpa Shetty has homes in Mumbai and England. She enjoys takeaway pizza, going to garden centers, and playing cards at weekends. Shilpa says, here in England, my perfect weekend begins at my home in the countryside with my husband Raj Kudra. On Fridays, we usually watch TV, but sometimes friends or family come to play cards, poker. I love poker. We get a takeaway pizza. Pizza goes best with playing cards. And I drink green tea. I love green tea. On Saturdays, I get up late at about 10:45 and then I have a long bath. Sometimes I watch TV in the bath or listen to music. I like staying in the country at weekends. I love walking barefoot on the grass. We go to a pub for lunch. I like the puddings, especially sticky toffee pudding. I prefer to have Saturday evening at home. We like watching cookery programs. Jamie Oliver is my favorite. I like cooking Indian food, but not at weekends. On Sundays, I love shopping and gardening. I always buy my clothes from small boutiques and I love visiting garden centers. I love flowers. My homes in Mumbai and England are always full of beautiful white lilies. I don't cook on Sunday. We prefer eating out and sometimes, if we have time, we go to a spa hotel for a swim and a massage. It's a great way to end a perfect weekend. Big living room, 2 bedrooms, new kitchen, bathroom and shower. £250 per week. Inside the White House. The White House 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. is the most famous address in America. It is where the United States President works, but it is also his private home where he lives with his family. He has children's birthday parties, holiday dinners, and weddings in this world famous building. First built in 1800, the White House is where the President of the United States governs a country of 50 states and 304 million people. He lives with his family on the second and third floors. There are 16 bedrooms, a living room, a kitchen, and a dining room. Special guests stay in the Queen's bedroom or the Lincoln bedroom. In the West Wing are the staff offices. The President's own office, the Oval Office, is also there. It has three large windows behind the President's desk, and there is a fireplace at the other end. Each new president chooses new curtains, new furniture, and a special new carpet. There are pictures of old presidents on the wall, and there is the famous desk, a gift from the British Queen Victoria in 1880. The White House is open to visitors. It is free. About 6,000 people a day visit. The president meets special guests in the East Room and he talks to journalists in the press room. About 150 people work for the president in the West Wing and for the First Lady in the East Wing. Another 100 people look after the building day and night. There are 132 rooms, 35 bathrooms, and 5 kitchens, all on 6 floors. There are 3 elevators. The state dining room is big enough for 140 guests. Outside, gardeners grow fruit and vegetables. There is also a tennis court, a jogging track, and a swimming pool. Inside, there is a movie theater, a billiard room, a bowling alley, and a library. As former President Reagan said, the White House is like an 8-star hotel. A passion for success. Nicola Benedetti is a world-famous violinist. She was the BBC Young Musician of the Year in 2004 when she was 16. She lives in Chiswick, West London, near her sister Stephanie, who is also a violinist. Their father, Gio Benedetti, is a businessman. He lives with his wife Francesca in Scotland. When I was young, music wasn't very important in our house. Then, when I was 4, I started playing the violin. In my first lesson, I was so happy I couldn't stop crying. My dad, Gio, was always busy. He was very hardworking. His parents were poor, so he wanted to give me and my sister everything. I like hard work too, and I know what I want. If someone says to me, "You can do that," I think, "Oh yes, I can." That's very like my dad. But my dad's a businessman and I'm an artist. Money is very important to him, but for me, success isn't the same as earning lots of money. He likes the music I play, but he doesn't like classical music very much. I teach him about music and he tells me about business. My sister and I are very close. We sometimes play together, not professionally, but at family occasions like weddings and at Christmas. I live for my work. I never want to stop. Music is my life. A passion for business. I was born in a small village near Lucca in Italy. We were poor but happy. When I was 10, I came to Scotland to live with my uncle. It was very difficult. When I was 16, there was a beautiful car, a Jaguar, in the shops, but I couldn't afford it. It was too expensive, so I started a business to make money, a dry cleaning business. Soon there were 15 shops. By the time I was 19, I could afford the Jaguar. That was a very good day. Nicola was always independent like me. She could play the violin when she was 4. Now she plays concerts all over the world. I am so proud of her. She practices for 7 hours a day. Scotland is so proud of her. Everybody knows her now. I can play any musical instruments. I like country and western music, but not classical. Nicola knows what she wants. She has a passion to succeed like me and she works very hard to get it. When she plays the violin, she's passionate. That's the Italian in her. When I see her play, I often cry. I can't help it. I'm very sentimental. Oprah Winfrey. Her childhood. Oprah was born on January 29, 1954, in Kosciuszko, Mississippi. Her parents were very poor. Her father, Vernon, worked in a coal mine, and her mother, Vernita, cleaned houses. They couldn't look after Oprah, so she lived with her grandmother, Hattie Mae. Oprah was clever. She could read before she was 3. When she was 17, she received a scholarship to Tennessee State University, where she studied drama. She also started reading the news at the local radio station. The 3rd of April, 1999. 1900, 1905, 2001, 2012. The first man on the moon, 1969. On 16th of July 1969 at 9:30 in the morning, Apollo 11 lifted off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. There were 3 astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. The enormous rocket took 3 days to complete the 250,000 miles to the moon, traveling at 6 miles per second. Then it circled the moon 30 times, giving time to prepare for the landing. The lunar module landed on a part of the moon called the Sea of Tranquility at 8:17 in the evening on 20th of July. It was time for the astronauts to rest, but they were too excited to sleep. At 3 o'clock in the morning on July 21st, Neil Armstrong became the first man to walk on the moon. 600 million people all over the world watched on TV. As Armstrong took his first steps, he said the famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Armstrong and Aldrin spent 2.5 hours walking on the moon. They collected samples and set up scientific equipment. Finally, they put up a US flag. After 22 hours on the moon, the lunar module lifted off and flew up to join the rocket that took them back to Earth. They left an inscription. Here men from the planet Earth first set foot upon the moon, July 1969, we came in peace for all mankind. This flight was the beginning of man's exploration of space. Cottage pie. 2 medium onions, 500 grams of minced beef, 10 milliliters of oil, 2 medium carrots chopped, 400 grams of tomatoes, 1 tablespoon of thyme, salt and black pepper. Topping: 4 large potatoes, 40 grams of butter, 100 grams of cheddar cheese, 15 milliliters of milk. High-speed Tokyo. Tokyo has a population of 35 million people. It is the largest city in the world. It is also one of the most exciting. Everything moves fast here. It has one of the biggest and busiest railway systems in the world. Every day, 11 million commuters use it to get to and from work. People earn the highest salaries and they spend the most money. They wear the latest fashions and have the most up-to-date phones. It is the world's most expensive city. Tokyo was originally a small fishing village called Edo. The name changed in 1868 when the emperor moved there. The architecture is very modern. There are not many old buildings because of the 1923 earthquake and the Second World War. But traditional Japan is always near, with many Shinto shrines and public baths around the city. Tokyo is on the east coast of Japan. The summers are hot and humid. The most beautiful time of year is spring, when the famous cherry blossom is on the tree. The city is huge, but it is one of the safest cities in the world. Japan is mysterious. It is difficult for foreigners to understand. Mumbai, a city of extremes. Mumbai is India's largest city with a population of 22.8 million. It is also India's most important commercial center. Mumbai was part of the British Empire until independence in 1947. It was called Bombay until 1995 when it was renamed Mumbai after a Hindu goddess Mumba Devi. Mumbai is both old and modern, rich and poor. The streets are full of people doing business, selling snacks and clothes, or just living there. Money is everywhere in modern Mumbai. India's most important business and banks have their headquarters there. The Bollywood film industry produces more films than Hollywood and Los Angeles. Modern skyscrapers and new shopping malls are right next to slums. 60% of the population live with no running water, no electricity, and no sanitation. Mumbai is on the west coast. The wet season is from June to September. Between November and February, it is a little cooler and drier. The city is best at sunrise and sunset when the color of the stone building changes from gold to orange and pink. The cheapest and easiest transport is by bus. Trains can be crowded and dangerous. Because of its poverty, Mumbai can be a difficult place to live, but the experience is unique. Multicultural Mexico City. Mexico City has a population of 23.4 million people. It is the largest city in both North and South America. The Aztecs called it Tenochtitlan, and it was already an important city when the Spanish invaded in 1521. The country became independent in 1821. Mexico City offers a variety of experiences. In the Zocalo, the main square, you can see the Spanish cathedral, an Aztec temple, and a modern skyscraper. The city has a lot of museums and theaters. European squares and colonial houses sit next to busy markets selling Mexican food and Indian handicrafts. It is the richest city in Latin America. There are elegant shops selling high-class goods, expensive restaurants, and super cool bars. There are also many people who live in poor houses. Mexico City is in a valley in the south-central area of the country. It is surrounded by mountains. The rainy season is from June to October. The warmest months are April and May. It has the largest and cheapest subway system in Latin America. Traffic moves so slowly that it is often faster to walk. The air quality is not good, and visitors need to be careful, but the city offers a rich cultural mix. A science laboratory 360 kilometers from Earth, a preparation for a flight to Mars, a cathedral in the sky, the International Space Station, or ISS, is all of this. At this very moment, the ISS is orbiting the Earth at a distance of 360 kilometers. It is flying at 28,000 kilometers per hour. It goes around the Earth 16 times a day. It took more than $100 billion and 14 years to develop. It is the most expensive thing ever built. The first part of the station went into space in 1998. Astronauts started to live on it in November 2000. There are usually 3 astronauts on board and they stay for about 6 months at a time. Over the years, there have been over 200 visitors from 15 different countries. Supply ships arrive about 8 times a year. Space agencies in the United States, Russia, Japan, Canada, and Europe are working together. They're using the zero gravity of space to do experiments in biology, physics, and astronomy. They're learning about living in space over a long time and the effects of this on the human body. The astronauts are growing plants to make oxygen. They're studying the Earth's weather and geography. and they are looking at planets and stars to understand the origin of the universe. Astronauts work for 10 hours a day during the week and 5 hours on Saturday. The rest of the time they are free. They wake up at 6 o'clock and have breakfast. There is a meeting and they decide the day's plans. They have an hour for lunch, then more work till dinner at 7 o'clock. Lights out at 9:30. They do 2 hours exercise every day because weightlessness affects the body's muscles and bones. There isn't a real kitchen, but there is a kitchen table. All food comes in tins or packets. There is fresh fruit only when a supply ship comes. Astronauts eat with a spoon. It is a good idea to have food with a sauce so that it stays on the spoon and doesn't float away. They like spicy food because in space the sense of taste isn't very strong. They have their own sleeping compartment. They sleep in bags attached to the wall. Because there is no up or down in space, they sleep standing up. They have their own clothes and books and laptops. The temperature is always 72 degrees Fahrenheit, so astronauts usually wear shorts and a t-shirt. There isn't a shower, but there are 2 toilets. In their free time, they send emails home, read, and play games. But what they like to do best is look out of the windows at Earth below. The International Space Station is the first of many space stations. There isn't a date yet for a manned trip to Mars, but space agencies are already talking about it. One thing is sure, at some time in the 21st century it will certainly happen. Have you ever done these things in your life? Flown in a jumbo jet, worked through the night, lived in a foreign country, seen the sunrise, slept in a tent, met a famous person, run a marathon, eaten Chinese food, failed an exam. Open Air Music Festival. My first Glastonbury was in 2005, the year of rain and mud. We took off our shoes and danced in it up to our knees. I loved it. I've now been 6 times. It's always great fun even though you don't sleep much. This year's festival was fantastic. I didn't want to go home. A definite highlight for me was an Icelandic band called Sigur Rós. I've never heard of them, but I love their music. And well done for all the toilets this year. Much better. Well, I don't know what to say, my first time, and it was the most amazing experience. I'm now sitting at work thinking about the best 4 days of my life. We didn't see any rubbish bands, and the DJs rocked all night. We saw the sunrise at 5:15 on Sunday morning, an amazing experience. Only one complaint. There were so many mobile phones. Why? I thought Glasgow was about getting away from it all. I've taken my kids to Glastonbury twice. It really is an education for kids. The atmosphere is amazing. I think this is because of the mix of people of all ages. It's great to see them, from babies, toddlers, and teenagers to people my parents' age and older. Everyone gets on so well. On Saturday night, we watched Radiohead with my 11-year-old son, and the crowd moved back so he could see better. We loved everything. This was my first year at Glastonbury. I traveled 10,000 miles to be there. I've been to other festivals in Australia and Europe. I went to the Sonar Festival in Barcelona 2 years ago. It was brilliant, but I always wanted to come to Glastonbury. It was amazing. Radiohead was the best thing I have ever seen at a festival ever, and I'm going to come next year if I can. Long live Glastonbury. David Guetta, the superstar DJ with 70 million hits on YouTube. David Guetta is French. David lives in Paris, but David works all over the world. David is a very famous DJ. David is number 3 in the top 100 DJs poll. David works with a lot of pop stars such as Britney Spears, Celine Dion, and Madonna. David sometimes writes songs for the pop stars. David really likes Lady Gaga, and David wants to work with Lady Gaga. David's job is very exciting, and David likes David's job a lot. David is married to Kathy. Kathy comes from Senegal. Kathy is a businesswoman and an actress. Kathy and David often go to Ibiza. Every year, Kathy and David have parties there. People love Kathy and David's parties. Kathy and David have 2 young children, and they love to spend time with the 2 children. First name Lena, surname Prentice, Miss. She's Australian. Address 23A Park Road, City Sheffield, postcode S14AX. Email address len.pran@talktalk.com. Daytime telephone 0114-496-0154. Mobile phone 0770900687. Hi Duncan, thanks for last weekend. It was really great. The meal was fantastic. Didn't know you could cook. Just kidding. Email me the recipe. I'd like to make cottage pie for my friends here. They're always starving hungry. The journey was so long and boring. The coach stopped at a motorway service station where I had a disgusting cheese sandwich and a cold coffee. Yuck. I slept for the rest of the journey. Not surprising, really. We did dance all night. House Rules was a brilliant club, but going to bed at 4 and getting up at 8 to go back to Edinburgh was awful. You're a star for getting up early to take me to the coach station. Everyone here is worried about the exams. They start next week, like yours. It was good to forget about them for the weekend. I miss you a lot. Come and visit me soon. It's cheap on the coach. Can't wait to see you again. Email me or send a text. Lots of love, Sal. Your home has 10 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, 2 kitchen and staff accommodation, private parking, a ballroom, a garden with an orchard, a tennis court, a swimming pool, a private golf course, a private road. Flat to rent, £375 per week. 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, large living room, dining room, beautiful kitchen with washing machine and dishwasher. Your house has 8 bedrooms on the first floor, 5 bedrooms on the second floor, 10 bathrooms, a dining hall, an enormous garden, a cinema, a bowling alley, 6 garages, an indoor and an outdoor swimming pool, stables for the horses and a field, electric gates, and CCTV. Okay, so that's it for today. Press a like button on this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.